Hey guys, how are you all? Um, Love thy RCs. मैं एक और RC लेके आई हूँ मैं आपके लिए. Let's do this. I hope these RCs are benefiting you guys. I mean, in every session, I try my best to show you how to do passage mapping, how to take out the main idea, and how to do your smart reading. That is organized reading. Like, it's a combination of skimming, skipping, scanning. So you really do not need to read each and every para ka each and every word and waste time. So चलो देखते हैं ये RC क्या है. I hope you all are following these things as gospel. Understand the main idea and then mapping the passage, as I said, locating the important zones from where you can get the questions. Pin the types of questions. You have to understand the question stem. क्या पूछ रहा है आपसे? And of course, last but not the least, your process of elimination. Okay, so we have got this passage here on abortion. Abortion remains one of the most contentious issues. ठीक है, I see the passage here, it's on abortion, I can see that there is some data here, and then feminist abortion historically, ठीक है. I'm just glancing at my passage to get a feel of the enemy, right? So here it is like pro-life, pro-choice. Okay, will I be able to do it? Won't I be able to do it? Is it too dense for me? Okay, देखते हैं अभी. ठीक है. Oh my god, okay, so there are like 3, 6, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs, but no need to panic because we're not going to read all of it. Okay, so and what do the questions look like? The passage suggests that abortion laws across history and geography have been shaped by abortion laws shaped by. So you're looking for factors, right? 1 through FFF, right? Then we have Lucre's analysis implies that the abortion debate is less about the medical procedure and more about. We have to go to Lucre's analysis. I don't think the entire passage is on Lucre. Okay? So we have to go to his analysis, and so this becomes a specific question. And medical procedure itself, it's less about that and more about what. The historical account of abortion in the United States highlights which underlying motive behind this in the late 19th century. We need to go and check this. In the passage, there must be 19th, 20th, whatever century he's talking about, and then US. So look for these two keywords together. That again makes it a para-specific question. Then, which of the following best captures the tension at the heart of the abortion debate as framed in the passage? Abortion debate to pure mein hai, so captures the tension at the heart. I can see that this is a main idea related question. ठीक है, okay, so main idea. Okay, cool. The questions are all good, but I need to understand क्या है passage में. Let's go back to the passage and give it a quick read. Abortion remains one of the most contentious issues. Contention, bone of contention होता है. Contentious issues means लड़ाई का issue. In the realm of women's rights, inflaming debates among feminists, religious groups, and political leaders alike. भड़काना. While a growing global consensus views control over fertility as this, abortion laws continue to vary widely. We get this point here. Growing global consensus, control over fertility, human right. These days, people decide whether they want to go ahead and give birth to children or not, right? So it's a basic human right. Abortion laws vary. This is something important here because यहाँ while बोला है. So this is not important. While का first part, the second part is important. You see how I keep marking my important zones. So I know the hero is abortion, the debates related to abortion, and here it's abortion laws continue to vary widely. यहाँ पे data है. That is probably to support his point that abortion laws vary. 40% live in countries permitted, okay, allowing, all right, okay. I don't need to get into this data. So probably the main idea is the debate around abortion and how these laws vary across the globe. आगे देखते हैं. So after the first para, pause for like 2-3 seconds and sum it up, as I did just now. For feminists, abortion is central to the struggle. Now we talk about feminists. उनके लिए abortion क्या है? It's central to the struggle against patriarchal control, the male-dominated system, the orthodoxy that is there in our society. Right? Historically, definitions of reproductive, now I am not reading it too much. Roman Catholicism, Islamic, all right. So he's connecting it with religion. Then governments controlled by men, patriarchal, okay. Granted, all right, overpopulation, theek hai. This para is about feminists, how they see abortion, abortion laws, and how it is connected with the patriarchal system that we follow. In earlier centuries, now he takes us back. Okay, abortion laws were more permissive under English common law, being challenged only after quickening fetal movements, 19th century. United States. Remember, there's a question. This is why reading the questions before coming to the passage helps me, because now I know that I have to put my car in the first gear and just see what this says. Question है भाई मेरा यहाँ पर आएंगे फिर, ठीक है? So by the late 19th century, abortion was banned across the US. Okay, mother's life, ठीक है. I have noted this. Then European immigrants, larger families, Protestants. So this para is again talking about religion. But religion क्यों? क्योंकि Protestant दिया हुआ है. Catholics, Protestant, Christians के जो दो sects होते हैं, right? Larger families, European immigrants, 19th century, US. Fetal movements, clear. पूरा नहीं समझना है word for word, but ये तो समझ में आ गया ना. This is talking about earlier centuries में how and what happened under the English common law, and that too connected with the US and 19th century. 19th century बोले तो 1800 something, right? Move on. For much of the 20th century बोले तो 1900 something, abortion remained illegal. अब ये 20th century का question होगा तो वापस आएंगे, otherwise why do you need to read it? Public health disasters, 1960s, okay, छोड़ दो उसको. The modern debate is sharply polarized between, now he's talking about modern debate. Good, this is important. Pro-life and pro-choice. Pro-life, should a fetus be killed? Does a fetus have the right to live? Pro-life. People say it's still considered life, so don't kill it, right? And pro-choice. I'm the mother, I decide whether I want to go ahead with this pregnancy or I want to terminate it. Right? Pro-life advocates, okay, and then pro-choice. देख रहे हो यहाँ पे flow, ये पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. When you come to the question, come back and read it. So pro-life, pro-choice. In contrast, there is a difference point between these two. It can be a question pocket. I will come back for it. Okay, अभी तो इतना समझ आ रहा. This para is about this. Modern debate क्या है? Pro-life and pro-choice. Right? Illegal abortion, something serious. Women facing serious health risks, जो भी है. Next, a deeper exploration of these competing perspectives. He has given us a lot of perspectives already. It is offered in Lucre की कोई book. You see how the passage is funneling it down to the book. पहले broad perspectives, US से related 20th century, 19th century वगैरह वगैरह. Then the modern debate, pro-life, pro-choice, and then he comes to Lucre's book. There's a question, Lucre की book का. I need to pay attention here. समझ में आई बात? Abortion and this based on extensive archival research, okay, argues fundamentally different, all right. A thought comes to mind. Does the author like his book, Lucre's book, or is he against it? देखते हैं आगे. Pro-life women tend to support a division of this with men occupying men. Again connected to patriarchal motherhood. All right. Pro-choice women on the other hand. Again he has brought in that pro-life and pro-choice. Cool. No need to read too much. Then I go down to the last para and I'm going to read it completely because it's a short para. And moreover, I can see that it's going to be conclusive. Lucre concludes. So Lucre अपनी book में he gives this pro-life, pro-choice, and then he concludes that activism in either movement, चाहे वो pro-life हो, pro-choice हो, reflects broader life experiences, including differences in education, income, occupation, family structure. For pro-life women, okay, abortion represents a threat to traditional family and gender roles. While for pro-choice women, it symbolizes autonomy and equality. It's my choice. I want to go ahead with it or not. So it gives me autonomy and equality. In this sense, abortion debates serve as a battleground for competing visions in a modern society. The first para said, these laws vary. The last para also agrees with that. He sums it up that visions of women's place in modern society, there's like, it's a battleground for competing visions. They vary widely. It's a long passage, but so damn easy to understand and so damn cool the flow is, right? So finish karo ye and then quickly sum it up. Kaise sum up karte hain? Go back. Okay, so it's abortion, the debates around abortion, the views. Then he goes to feminist ka paragraph. Then he goes to earlier centuries, English common law, Protestant wala connected with my question. Then beech mein ek chota sa ye bekar sa paragraph hai 1960s something. I ignored it. Then he comes to the modern debate where he starts with the pro-life and pro-choice. Then usko he funnels it down to Lucre's book. Lucre's book mein again he brings in the pro-life and pro-choice, and conclusion mein he talks about women and how it signifies autonomy for them and education, occupation, family structure, whatever. Done? Chaliye. I'll take you over to the first question. The main idea sabko clear hai. Abortion is the hero, but main idea is the laws and the perspective, the visions connected with abortion. ठीक है? Okay. It's not feminism, it's not women, it's not patriarchal society, it's not abortion in a patriarchal society. No. Okay. Now, this is true false wala. I'll go to something which is more specific. Right. Okay. Kristen Lucre's analysis implies that the abortion debate less about the medical procedure itself and more about what? Let's go back and see where it is. Must be somewhere here. Right. Okay. Gender, sexuality, family life. Occupying this, motherhood, children benefit, okay. Reject a separation, potential barriers, okay. Broader life experiences, education, income, structure. Right. Debate serves as a battleground. So, he has not given exactly like, medical le karke ke like the word medical or doctor or something. But what he's trying to say over here is less about the medical procedure itself. Abortion is not about how it is done, not about the technicality, but more about what. So according to Kristen Lucre, abortion is about what? Itna simple isne pucha hai. Right? Let's go down and eliminate the options. So, the psychological toll of unwanted pregnancies on women. Psychological toll. Has he discussed the psychological effects? Not exactly. Out of scope. Correct? The incompatibility between religious traditions and liberal politics. Has he discussed religious whatever over here? He has talked about gender, sexuality, family life, right? And he has talked about here motherhood, separation of public and private spheres, right? Pro-choice women, reproductive and this as potential barriers to equality, right? That they regard reproductive and family responsibilities as barriers to equality and insist that motherhood should be voluntary, not mandatory, right? So, incompatibility between religious traditions? No. Religion was there in the preceding paragraphs, but not in the Kristen Lucre thing. Eliminated. I'm left with C and D. Now, D says what and C says what? C says competing worldviews regarding gender roles, sexuality and motherhood. This says the political strategies of pro-life and pro-choice organizations. Now we know very well that Lucre had mentioned pro-life and pro-choice completely. But is he discussing the political strategies? I need to prove this. What do we do when we are left with two choices? We take one and try to prove it. So political strategies of these organizations or competing worldviews regarding this, right? Go back to the question and check. It's abortion debate is about what? So gender role, sexuality, motherhood, yeah, pro-life, pro-choice ka mudda, political. right? So I'll take you back to these 3 paragraphs where Kirsten Luker ka thing is mentioned. You can check here. Hold fundamentally different worldviews shaped by contrasting experiences of gender, sexuality, and family life, right? And then here, gender roles, private sphere, motherhood, right? So here I don't see the political activism that is given in this, political strategies of pro-life in this. So this part is not justified, this is out. Okay, although this has been discussed, so this, option C, is your answer. Okay, then question 3. The historical account of abortion in the US highlights which underlying motive behind this in the 19th century. Motive क्या था? ये must have been something selfish, something like some ulterior motive. देखते हैं. So it's this para. We know this, right? We go over here and try to read. In earlier centuries, abortion laws were more permissive under this. Allow कर दिए जाते थे. Okay. Being challenged only after quickening, when they could hear the fetal movement. Then it was restricted. By the late 19th century, however बोला है तो change करेगा ना. So here he says permissive. Abortion laws were permissive. People were allowed to people were allowed to abort. However, बाद में क्या हुआ? बंद कर दिया होगा abortion. You had to go ahead with your pregnancy, right? Abortion was banned across the US, except when it was dire to save the mother's life. So why? What was the intention? What was the reason? Why did it happen? That's what the question is saying. So my answer has to be here, right? Now I'll read. This shift was influenced both by what? Medical profession, which sought to consolidate authority. Medical wanted to take over, discrediting midwives and traditional healers जो बीच में जबरदस्ती थे, right? So the medical arena wanted to take over, okay? And by political anxieties. What kind of anxiety? That will be explained here, right? So I read here. I understood that there was one medical thing and the other political anxiety. Intention पूछा है. He's not going to focus here on this medical wala. He's going to focus on this intention, right? The explanation is here. The influx of southern and eastern European immigrants, influx unka आना, who had larger families, alarmed Protestant elites, Amir log who belonged to the Protestant division of Christianity. All right. So Protestant ka dictionary meaning hai a division of Christianity. Just like we have Sunnis and Shias in Muslim, we have Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras in Hinduism. Similarly, we have Protestants and Catholics in Christianity. So that time these people were dominant. And this influx of immigrants with their big families alarmed kisko? Protestant elites. They said, these people are going to come and kind of overshadow us. We need to do something about our clan, our people. So, restricting abortion was seen as a way to encourage white, middle-class Protestant women to bear more children, 10, 12, 14 children leke aao, so that the Protestant clan could increase in size, thereby preserving America's demographic balance of Protestants. Right? Ye tha unka intention. Now go to this question. Protecting women from unsafe medical practices of unlicensed practitioners. Okay? It is given there. Medical and another one. I'll keep it. Preserving Protestant dominance in the face of rising immigrant populations. It's given. I'll keep this. Ensuring conformity, obedience with religious institutions, opposition to abortion. No. This was the intention, to ensure conformity with religious institutions, opposition. No. Intention is given there. It was something to do with Protestants, right? And the medical thing. This is eliminated. Strengthening the medical profession's authority over women's health decisions. This is again connected to the medical thing, right? So यहाँ पूछा क्या है? Underlying motive. Do you see this? अब वो medical वाला cannot be underlying. That must have been pretty explicit, right? So I'm not guessing anything, but there two things were given. Anti-abortion laws, protecting women from unsafe. First thing, it does not mention that the midwives were unsafe. और एक और word था वहां पे, हाँ, traditional healers. Okay, so by discrediting them, that does not prove that they were unsafe. So I can eliminate this, right, because of this word. It cannot be inferred from there. I'm left with B and D. What is the difference between the two? Preserving Protestant dominance in the face of rising, yeah, because of rising immigrant populations, in the wake of rising this, or strengthening the medical profession's authority. Was this the underlying intention? To strengthen their authority over women's health decisions? Women's health decisions, don't you think that's too broad? Because here he says clearly, here, consolidate authority by discrediting midwives and this, and by political anxieties, which sought to consolidate authority. Consolidate authority related to what? Related to women's health? Related to pregnancies? Related to men's health? Related to what? The paragraph does not specify. So this is eliminated and this is your answer. Hope this is clear. Okay, question 4. This is the main idea thing. Which of the following best captures the tension at the heart of the abortion debate? The main thing, right? Let's eliminate the ethical dilemma between the fetus's right to live and the mother's health. Okay, ठीक लग रहा है मुझे, रखते हैं इसको. The clash between state authority and individual autonomy over reproduction. State authority, individual autonomy, clash between them over reproduction. Go back and see, is this the main thing? Activism, life experiences, differences in this, pro-life, gender roles, symbolizes autonomy. This one is completely out of scope. So this is out. The tension between traditionalist family structures and egalitarian gender means equality given to gender, right? So this I can keep. The legal inconsistencies arising from varied interpretations, privacy rights. Legal inconsistencies arising from this, out of scope. So this and this are out, A and C. Between A and C, you can go back and check. पहले तो यहाँ difference देख लो. Ethical dilemma. Between what? Fetus's right to life and the mother's health. Pro-life and pro-choice. अगर हम उससे भी चलें, तो it was pro-life, that is fetus's right to life. Mother's health नहीं. Mother's decision to go ahead with it or not. So mother's health is a trap. This is distortion. It's eliminated and C is your answer. So tension between traditionalist family structures and egalitarian I said is related to equality. Traditionalist family structures, this is what he says over here in these two paragraphs, and this is what was mentioned somewhere in the first para too, right? First para में तो ये बोला है कि हाँ, very widely, right? So feminist, religious, बहुत सारी चीजें दी थी इसने. But here when he comes to the summing up by providing Lucre's point, the main tension, the main point was what? The main point that has been discussed is more related to autonomy, equality, family structure, the patriarchal society. And here इस पैरा में तो it's about feminist का, ठीक है? Abortion remained illegal. Modern debate is pro-life and pro-choice. But this is not mother's health related. Right? Pro-life, pro-choice is this. So I showed you how to eliminate. Correct? So the answer is C. Now we are left with only one question. The passage suggests that abortion laws across history and geography have been shaped by what? It has to be one true and the other three will be false. A consistent moral principle rooted in the sanctity of life. Shifting intersections of politics, religion, medicine, demographic concerns, women's movements that consistently fought for reproductive rights, scientific advancements that revealed more about fetal development. Across history and geography, shaped by what? Go back. So, look here. Most contentious issues, debates among feminists, religious groups, political leaders alike. Right? Abortion laws continue to vary widely. Then he talks about it from the feminist point of view, religious point of view, right? Then he comes to this English laws, right? And then political, jo bhi yahan pe, ye, political anxieties, correct? So, when we go back to this question, obviously we are looking for various things. It wasn't just one thing, not just the family system, not just the patriarchal system. It was a combination of various things, right? Have been shaped by these things. So, moral principle, definitely eliminated. This I can keep. Women's movements that consistently fought for reproductive rights. This is feminist wala connected only with the second para. This was one of them, right? Eliminated. Scientific advancements that revealed more about fetal development. So pro-life, jo argument tha, debate tha. But this was again one of them. So this is eliminated. And B is the one that encompasses the entire debate. Not the debate, but they have been shaped. Laws को कौन shape करता चला गया है, sometimes by political anxiety, sometimes by religion, sometimes by feminism, sometimes by medical advances, कुछ भी. Right? So I hope this is clear, guys. We are done with all the 4 questions. BC. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you again. Take care.
I hope you enjoyed this video. अब मैं आपको एक शॉकिंग फैक्ट बताता हूँ. ये डेटा जो आपकी स्क्रीन पे शो कर रहा है कि iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल के 60% व्यूअर्स चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं करते. सब्सक्राइब ना करने का रीजन ये हो सकता है कि यार एनीवे जो ब्राउज फीड है उस पर तो वीडियो आ ही जाता है, बट सब्सक्राइब क्यों करना चाहिए वो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल का अगर आप प्लेलिस्ट सेक्शन देखोगे, यहाँ पे आपको बहुत सारी यूजफुल प्लेलिस्ट मिलेंगी. अगर आपका अरिथमेटिक वीक है तो ये आप अरिथमेटिक प्लेलिस्ट यहाँ पे चेकआउट कर सकते हो. ज्योमेट्री वीक है तो ज्योमेट्री प्लेलिस्ट चेकआउट कर सकते हो. एल्जेब्रा में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो एल्जेब्रा प्लेलिस्ट. एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस, अभी करंटली जो प्लेलिस्ट चल रहा है वो बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट 200 क्वेश्चंस का एंड RC 100 वाला प्लेलिस्ट जो शबाना मैम का है. ये सारे जो प्लेलिस्ट के वीडियोस होते हैं इन पे उतने ज्यादा व्यूज नहीं होते, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली जो पढ़ने वाली जनता है वो बहुत कम है. बट अगर आप उनमें से एक हो तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो. रेगुलर बेस पे इन प्लेलिस्ट का वीडियो आता रहता है, आपकी फीड में आपको सबसे पहले दिखेगा. एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस, अब जो आने वाला टाइम है उसमें आपका कैट का फॉर्म आएगा, देन डिफरेंट एग्जाम्स के फॉर्म आएंगे, अलग अलग तरीके के नोटिफिकेशन आएंगे. जैसे ही कोई अपडेट कैट 25 से रिलेटेड आता है, सबसे पहले वो अपडेट आपको iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल पर मिलने वाला है. तो डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल.